Fury came out the other day. He basically trying to push the Deontay Wilder fight off. Now, you part of Deontay Wilder team. What you have to say when it comes to what Tyson Fury stated, trying to force an Anthony Joshua fight without fighting the Deontay Wilder trilogy fight?
Okay, so my whole take on this is that as much as they've been trying to fabricate Deontay for not publicly speaking and saying that he has excuse for everything, you can say the same thing about Tyson Fury because he's been trying to get out this fight since the fight ended. Nobody, nobody's paying attention to that. You know what I mean? He's been trying to get out the fight. Oh well, I'm not going to wait on Deontay. Then 3 days later, Frank Warren says some bullshit, or Tyson Fury's he's going to fight before the year over, or he's going to do this, he's going to do that. Time and time again, we've seen the same thing from Tyson Fury, always trying to get out the fight. But the only thing they can say about D is, he's oppressed, or something wrong with him. He's not saying anything. Just as much as they're trying to get D to talk, just as much as they're trying to get out the fight.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like,
there is no way for him to get out of the fight, though.
He can't get out the fight. No matter what reports they put out, that it's contractual. He can't get out the fight. He can't get out of the fight. He's not going to get out that fight, so they can kiss that shit goodbye.
And it's crazy you say that because, man, since the pandemic, right, they've been trying to paint the narrative of Fury versus Anthony Joshua. They even have the fight on a UFC game when they both don't fight in the UFC. So you could tell how much they really trying to push for the fight. Just the fact that Deontay Wilder has it on contract, that he's guaranteed a trilogy fight, and they still trying to push him off. And we already know the trilogy fight is going to be bigger than all of them. The reason why the glove gate became bigger than the money gate itself for the rematch.
Yeah, they're doing their best, you know, and in this third fight, we're going to see. You know what I mean? We definitely going to see. And everything will be closed. Circuit will be tight, even tighter, the tightest it ever been. And we're just going to see, you know what I mean? And then at the same time, I mean, Tyson Fury, I don't know what to say about the man, you know what I mean? My thing is this, like, how can you really go around celebrate knowing what you did? Knowing that the way you chose to get a win. These people seeing that this man can carry power through all 12 rounds, and it can be devastating through any round of the fight. So you got to figure out a way to slow that down. You know,
right?
You got to figure out a way to slow that down, and the only way they can come up to figure out to slow that down is through cheating. But guess what? This time, if you cheat, you're gonna have to come up with a different. You're gonna have to come up with a different way to cheat because it's not gonna slow down this time. I promise you.
Right. In the first fight, he only tampered with his left hand. He didn't have his fist all the way in the glove. In the second fight, it was both his left and right hand. You know, you talked about Tyson Fury, celebrating. I'll tell you one thing, man. Tyson Fury still have his IG blocked to this day. I mean, Deontay Wilder is the one that lost, and he don't have his Instagram blocked where you can't comment. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury, you can't comment on his IG to this day, ever since we found out he tampered with his gloves versus Deontay Wilder.
Man, I just can't wait to the fight. That's one thing I can say. You know, I can't wait to the fight. But you know, they're gonna try to come up with different scenarios and say all this fake news shit. You know,
right? So let me ask you this: we really want the answer for this. This is the $1 million question. So y'all not gonna allow Tyson Fury to cut off the camera in the dressing room? ESPN commentators played it off and brushed it off like it ain't the most suspicious thing in the world. Like, why are you cutting off the camera when that's the Nevada State Commission camera to go back and look at the footage in case there's a suspicious act for investigations? But they cut off the camera from the back when it's not even viewable to the public.
Right. But the crazy part about it is everything will be secured and locked down this time. I can't say who gonna do it, but from my mouth, I know for a fact it's going to be locked down. It's going to be locked down, you know. And the crazy part about it, I ain't going to say the same thing happened in Dylan White fight, but he was mad because Povetkin. They checked his glove in the back. They wanted to see what was what. Dylan White got mad. You know what I mean?
Right.
They did the same thing. So that just proves right there, that proves that motherfuckers know what's going on. They just don't want to say nothing. That right there proved a whole bunch. When I sit there and watch that fight downstairs, before I came and told D what was the end result of that fight. That just proved to me motherfuckers really know what's going on. They just don't want to say nothing. But you can't play stupid forever.
Right. Man, I'm glad you said that, right? After Povetkin knocked out Dillian White, somebody hit me up on Instagram and he sent me the footages of a Povetkin team checking Dillian White gloves in the back, and Dillian White team wasn't having it. They were like, "Oh, don't touch the glove. Don't put your hands in the glove." Like,
if there's a problem, you deal with me.
Yeah, I know the process. You know how it works. I just want to avoid any manipulation. That's what I'm talking about.
We have no issue.
What are you talking about manipulation?
Everything's
Relax,
fine.
man.
Everything's
Calm down, man.
Just a formal.
and that's the same thing they did to Oscar Revius. Remember when Oscar Revius, they agreed that Dillian White was going to wear some type of brand gloves, but he didn't even wear the gloves they agreed to. And he wear his own gloves fight night. He also failed for steroids. They had a private meeting where he actually tested positive for steroids, and there were steroids in his system, and they still cleared him to fight against Oscar Revius, and he nearly lost that fight. So it was like a payback in a way when Povetkin knocked him out. But we have a question for you from one of the fans. He stated, Tay Jones, can you explain why nobody in Wilder camp caught on Fury glove manipulation? He did this few years back where the ref had to check him. And that was the referee McDonald. So what do you say to that?
I mean, me personally, now we see that, everybody doesn't do their job. But what I can say is that this time that definitely won't be the case. You know what I mean? But I do know for a fact, yes, Jay did see when he got his hand wraps, but it was no indication on whether he got, the gloves put on. But so in our defense, it's just that if everybody does their job, nobody will have to result to that. I mean, but once the fix is in, you know what I mean? Once the fix is in, that's what it is. But I can describe from what I seen from the back, you know what I mean? From just being in the back myself, you know what I mean? And as I reminisce about, that night, I remember the referee, I forget his name, not Jack Reese, but the black guy. He came in. Yeah, but it was crazy that his name came up in the conversation, and it wasn't a normal greet when he came to talk to Deontay. It was a greet as if I want to say some shit, but I can't. You know what I mean? And it was on one of those type of things, and people probably think I'm lying, but fuck up. But it was on one of those type of basins. He was just looked all, fun in the face and stuff like that. And being in the back, you don't. What's the word? We're really focused on D. Now it is a job for other people to do. Like I said before, now I can confirm that Jay did see Tyson put on hand wraps, but those are just hand wraps. Nobody knows what happens, when he puts on his gloves, or he could have rewrapped his glove or took them off or some shit in the back. Nobody knows. But what we do know is what we can prove. You know what I mean? I can prove there's a dent in my brother's face. I can prove that I have doctor notes. I can prove anything. I can prove all of that. You know what I mean? And I ain't got to sit here and make myself feel good. Neither does D. You know what I mean? He's not going to lose sleep about it. But one thing going to happen, justice must be served. And it's coming real soon.
And speaking of the referee, that was the same referee for Margarito versus Cotto, where Margarito loaded up his gloves. I'm pretty sure Cotto team didn't want that to happen, but things happen. You don't expect the other team to cheat. Deontay Wilder is a type of character. I'm pretty sure he felt like Tyson Fury was a stand-up guy, an honest man.
Hold it, you're not that pretty. I'm a bad man. Wait. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. I shook up the world.
I bear witness, there's only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his final messenger. That's what I said, Larry, on the Bungle fight. Thanking you.
They call me the problem. but you could call me the Can Man, cause anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.